Chayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Chayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Vijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Vijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanashari Yamuna Tira Vanashari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Vijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanashari Yamuna Tira Vanashari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Ho You can come closer. I used to bite people, but I'm not doing it anymore. My wife put like what they put to the dogs, how they call it? What? Hey, Arión, ¿cómo se dice un bozal? Un bozal de perro, ¿cómo se dice? Sí, ¿cómo se dice? A dog mask. So I'm not biting anymore. You can come closer. Siéntate por aquí. Well, Hare Krishna, this sigla takes me in a ride. If I know that, instead of buying a car, I buy the season. Don't have to pay for gas. Anyway, usually, first, thanks for coming, everybody. Thank you for coming. Anybody's coming for the first time? You coming for the, but you are not new to this. Oh no, of course not. I can tell the way you were singing. Okay, anybody's coming for the last time? Nobody? I asked the question because sometimes people, that's it, disappear forever, just to know. Okay. Anyway, usually on Sunday, we speak on Sundays, excuse my inaccurate English, I promise that I will be trying to do my best. I have my translator here. my ChatGPT here, my English corrector. uh, Usually on Sundays, generally, we speak about Bhagavad Gita. But today, I can't close I cannot see my settings. Don't get scared. Today, I have the idea to talk about a song that we sing every Sunday. Shivaya yo, ya yo, Gaura, Arati Kosova, Jana Vita, Jagamana Lova. Yes. Does anybody know the meaning of this song completely? That's not very good news. Yes, we're going to speak about it with my patient. Any Bengali here? Oh, good, she's going to help me. That's Bengali, isn't it? So the point is, why do we sing these songs? Why we don't say in English, French, or whatever? Well, the first thing is that this song, like you already said, is not written in Sanskrit. It's written in, say it, Bengali, your mother tongue, right? Written in Bengali. So we sing this song for a specific purpose. First, like we know, Sanskrit, some people call it a spiritual language, a spiritual tongue. Not everybody's sure about it, but the closest that I can tell is that Jiva Goswami, the great Vaishnava theologian, in his Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, in his book about Sanskrit grammar, the first sutra, he says, Narayana Bhuto Yam Varnakrama. This Varnakrama, these sounds, these phonemics, they came out from Narayana. Okay? So it's not a mundane language, Sanskrit. Actually, that's the meaning. Sang is a prefix that means completely or together, completely. And Krita, that's the real name, Sanskrita. We say Sanskrit, but Sanskrita. Comes from the verb krit, to do, and ta is the past participle, done. Sanskrita, perfectly, completely, perfectly done. It's a very beautiful language. So, but this language, it's not that everybody spoke this language. Maybe in Satya Yuga, people say it, but in most recent times, this language was only spoken by highly intellectual, the educated class, the Brahmins. It was the language of the intellectual. It was not like the language for any fellow that walk around in a village. And for many years, many years, it was a standard language of the spiritualists. Every book, any book that was written was in Sanskrit. There was a time in India that once upon a time, the stories, no? Ekada, that's the way you say once upon a time, by the way, in Sanskrit. Ekada. That means related to time, Eka, one time. There was a time in India that you have to write in Sanskrit. If you are a theologian, if you want to present a commentary, if you want to write something accepted by the educated classes, you have to write in Sanskrit. That was a standard. You could not escape it. If you write in English, you go there with a book written in English. What is this? What kind of language is this? There's problem. You have to write in Sanskrit. That was a standard. In fact, when all these great sages came together to have a debate about the philosophy, it was in Sanskrit. It was not in local language, it was in Sanskrit. That means that if you wanted to go there, at least at the minimum, entry level, minimum qualification, you need to have at least something like a PhD in Sanskrit, just to be able to get in and sit down. Hey, I have a piece. Okay, you can sit down, keep it quiet, just listen. Minimum. Just like when you go to university here, isn't it? You need certain certification. So it was very, very, very high level of academics and very high level. It was a prestigious language. Not everybody understood it, of course, only the most educated people. And it was something similar, for example, in the Western world, in Christianity, in the Catholic Church, for example, for many, many, many centuries, the Mass, you say the Mass, la Misa, hey, GPT, say the Mass, have to pay attention. La Misa is Mass, no? So the Mass, so the Sunday Mass, the Sunday feast, but they don't have prashad, they have to say little piece, no prashad. That's the difference. The Mass was in Latin. And guess who understood Latin? Just a few people. Just a little bit. The general mass of people didn't understand. And by the way, not only in Latin, but the priest, the person who was giving the Mass, he used to stand facing the altar, giving his back to the public and speaking Latin. Really boring, isn't it? Imagine that, for example, now we are going to talk to you, and I go and sit there in the middle of the facing the deities, giving your back to you, and I begin to speak in Sanskrit. Oh, very good. I got everything. Really good. I understood everything. So for many, many years it was like that. Until I think, if I'm not wrong, was in the Second Council of the Vatican in 1961. They realized that the church was not close to the people. There was a gap between the masses and the church. And in the Second Council, they decided to change it. Now we will speak in local language, facing the public, and everybody say, Jai, Haribol, finally, we understand what they are saying, isn't it? So by the Middle Ages, by the time of Lord Chaitanya, Sanskrit was the standard of the intellectual classes. Like I said, anything you write, it's not in Sanskrit, we don't even look at it. But there was one famous acharya, his name was Narottam Das Thakur. And another one from our tradition, both of them, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like around 400 years later, they decided to write in Bengali, not in Sanskrit. Why? Because they also have this realization. The message of Mahaprabhu is so beautiful. The message of Mahaprabhu is so beautiful, and nobody understands Sanskrit. So they began to write songs in Sanskrit and books, in Bengali, and books in Bengali for the benefit of the general mass of people. So the point is that both of them, they were great poets. Not only, that's very common in India, saints that are great poets. You have Mirabai, Kabir. So they began to write poetry in Bengali, in local language, for the benefit of the masses. But why do we sing these songs? Well, the point is that these songs are the outputting of the heart of the great Vaishnava saints. These songs, they are charged with their mood, with the inner mood of their heart. That is something that we have to understand, that bhakti, Vaishnava tradition, is not just information, it's not just reading books. You can read many books, even Srimad Bhagavatam, etc., but you get some information. But there is something that you may lack, is the mood of the Vaishnava. That is something that you don't get out of reading books. You have to get it from another Vaishnava. Because this is in the heart of the Vaishnava and it's very confidential. It's not public. We see, even when Lord Chaitanya was dancing in Ratra Yatra, he was reciting some verses, beautiful verses. And later on, Rupa Goswami wrote this famous verse, Priyosohan Krishna Sahachari Kurukshetra Militas Tataham Sarada Tatu Vayosagamashuka. And when this verse was taken to Lord Chaitanya, he said, how can you understand my heart? My heart is very confidential. How can you understand? Because the heart of a Vaishnava, what to speak of Lord Chaitanya, is very confidential. The feelings are very confidential. So he said to Rupa Goswami, how can you understand my heart? Who told you? Isn't it? So all these emotions, all these moods of the Vaishnava philosophy, of the Bhakti, are in the heart of the Vaishnava. And they come out for our benefit in the form of poetry, in the form of beautiful songs, that when we chant them, we begin to absorb the mood. Okay? We begin to absorb the mood. This we cannot get just by reading a book. For example, again, when Lord Chaitanya, he was lecturing to Prakasananda Saraswati, I think, he told him, Jada Bhagavata Pade Vaishnavera Sthana. If you want to understand the message of the Srimad Bhagavatam, you have to sit at the feet of the Vaishnavas. Thank you. If you want to understand the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, Pada Vaishnavera Sthana, you have to stay there at the feet of the Vaishnava. It's not something you get just from reading. Of course, we have the benefit that we have the Srimad Bhagavatam, the jewel of Vaishnava philosophy, commented by Srila Prabhupada. No? So when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we are hearing directly from him. But still, we may develop our own misconceptions. Sometimes you read and I don't understand. How come? Or many things may fly over your head. You don't get it. That's why you need to hear from a Vaishnava. Sit down next to it and hear. Otherwise, you don't get that mood. And these Vaishnavas, they sing these songs to spread that mood all over the world, to everybody. But our heart has to be fertile to get it. If our heart doesn't have the basic understanding, the sitting down, hearing from a Vaishnava, allowing that mood to wipe away all our misconceptions and wrong ideas, then we will never get it. So, because Bhakti goes beyond physical service. For example, sometimes we come here and we engage in some service, which is very good, by the way. Everybody should do it. Isn't it? We have a devotee here, Ragini. She's very expert dragging people and taking them to the services. In the same way that, for example, when you come to the temple for the first time, it's not that you say, I'm going to do this service. No, you don't do it. Okay? Somebody comes and tells you, Prabhu, could you do this service? So by the mercy of a Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, you are engaged in service. Okay? So similarly, by his or her mercy, you develop the mood, the necessary mood to understand Vaishnava philosophy. And these great Vaishnava are imbued this song with their own mood, because love is not just something abstract. Love has a name. When you love somebody, you love him or her in a specific way. Your husband, you love him with a conjugal mood. Your son is a parental mood. Your friend is a brotherhood mood. No? Your brother or brotherhood or your whatever. It has a name. Love is a specific. It's not like, for example, we say we love God and I also love my dog. Isn't it? Yes, but it's a great difference, isn't it? So there is a specific mood of love, and this we can get through a Vaishnava. So, taking advantage of that you are here, we're trying to read, with the help of our Bengali friend, our beautiful Gaura Arati. It's in it. Remember, these songs are the outpouring of the heart. The Shastra says, Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahayano yena gatasa panta. Dharmasya tattva, the real truth about Dharmasya nihitam guhayam is, guha is hidden, deeply hidden within the heart of the great sages. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam mahayano yena. This great Mahayana, Gata Sapanta. Therefore, Gata, you should walk, you should go through Sapanta, through the path that they are pointing at. Go through that person. That's the mood of it. So here we say, let's chant everybody together. 1, 2, 3. I chant really bad, so that's why I'm trying to blame it on you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Jayo go, Jayo Gaura Shamde Arati Shobha. Jana, I don't hear you. Jagamanaloba. This is what Bhakti Vinod Thakur saw. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, this great Vaishnava Shara, he used to live near the Ganges. Another name for the Ganges is Janavi. So he used to live near the Ganges, and he used to look at the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. And he used to have revelations to see. In fact, in 1896, the very year that Srila Prabhupada was born, he said that how I'm waiting that day in which all the Vaishnavas from the West, white devotees, may come from Russia, from the West. At that time, there was no United States. Well, there was, but at the time, Lord Chaitanya. Come to here, to Navadvip, to dance, chanting the name of Gauranga. He had this vision. And he said, the person who is about to fulfill this prophecy is about to be born. 1896, the same year that Srila Prabhupada was born. He knew. The person that is about to fulfill this prophecy of Lord Chaitanya, my name will be heard all over the world, is about to be born. So he was looking around the Ganges, and he saw Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya means glorious, glorious. No, Gaura Chandra, Arati Shobha. This arti that is being performed to Lord Chaitanya is very beautiful. It's captivating. Shobha. Shobha also in Sanskrit means very effulgent. It's in Bengali the same. Shobha. Beautiful and effulgent. This arti is very charming. Yes, charming. Charming. Janavi Tata Vane, by the bank of the Janavi. Janavi is another name for the Ganges. Janavi Tata Vane, that forest. Jagamana Loba, and is captivating the mind of the whole universe, of everybody in the universe. We may go to India, we don't see the whole universe being captivating, but the divine beings see. They see, we don't see. Behind that piece of land, there is a transcendental reality. Jayatha Bhuvi Vartante Puryo Bhagavata Sriya Tad Lilartha. Jayatha Bhuvi Vartante Puryo Bhagavata Sriya Tad Lilartha Maikunte. There is a verse that said the abodes of the Lord in this world, Bhuvi, in this world, are manifestations of the divine abode, and not just ordinary place. Jayatha Bhuvi Vartante Puryo Bhagavata Tad Lilartha. I don't remember the verse. So, now this land in which Lord Chaitanya appeared and he's being worshipped is not an ordinary piece of land. Why? According to our theology, the spiritual world is a manifestation of Sri Balaram. Everybody knows Sri Balaram, no? Balaram is the personification of Shiv Shakti, the Krishna spiritual potency. Sri Balaram, he creates a spiritual world. Everything. He serves Krishna in all different ways. The shoes, Krishna's bed, Krishna's umbrella, he manifests the spiritual world, everything. However, Navadvip, this place where Lord Chaitanya appeared, is not the creation of Balaram. It's a creation of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani created Navadvip. Why? Because who lives in Navadvip? Lord Chaitanya. And what he does there, he's trying to experience the mood of Srimati Radhika, love for Krishna. So Radhika created this dam, Navadvip, to live there in the form of her own emotions in Krishna. And since Krishna is trying to taste Radhika's emotion, what better than a place of a dam that is a manifestation of herself. So that's it, and that's why this dam is so merciful. We call it Audarya Dham, the abode of magnanimity. Because every offense that you may perform in that dam is excused. If you are really, really fallen, like if you are really fallen, you go there, you can enter. Vrindavan is harder. Vrindavan is not easy to stay. But Mayapur, Navadvip, anyone can stay because that is the manifestation of Radharani's mercy. And Lord Chaitanya is there from Navadvip calling the whole world, come, come, come. Spreading love for God. And the Daki, again, chant please. Daki Nenitai Shan Bame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Sri. The Daki Nenitai. The Nitai is at his right, no? Daki Nenitai. Who is Nityananda? Nityananda is Balarag, is the original spiritual master. We have to remember that when Lord Chaitanya came to this world, these are things that we are supposed to keep in our mind when we are chanting every Sunday, to have this picture in our mind. Lord Chaitanya being worshipped at the bank of the Ganges. Lord Nityananda is standing by his right. Vame Gadadhari, and Gadadhar is standing by his left. Vame. So Nityananda and Gadadhar are two very important personalities, as well as Advaita. Nityananda is just like Krishna became Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, Balaram became Nityananda. And Gadadhar, not everybody knows who's Gadadhar. He is Srimati Radhika. Why? Because Lord Krishna was trying to experience the feeling of Srimati Radhika. And when he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, Radhika appears as Gadadhar Pandit just to help him to taste that mood. When Lord Chaitanya was experiencing the mood of Srimati Radhika, Gadadhar Pandit used to recite verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, from 10th canto, to increase that mood. He used to pick verses from 10th canto, the conjugal mood of 10th canto, and recite those verses specifically to increase the mood of Lord Chaitanya, to say, help him in this experience. No? So that's why some Vaishnavas, they do not worship Gaura in Thailand. We have over there Gaura and Nityananda, Chaitanya and Nityananda. But in some cases, some Vaishnavas, they have Gaura Gadadhar, no Gaura Nityananda. Why? Because they are in the line of conjugal love, which is a very deep philosophical theology, and that's why they don't worship Gaura Nitai. Gaura Nitai is for everybody, but Gaura Gadadhar is specifically for those devotees who are in conjugal love. No? Nikate Advaita. Advaita is very close. Who is Advaita Acharya? We are going to celebrate his appearance recently in a few days. Advaita Acharya is considered to be a combination of Mahavishnu with Sadashiva. And when Advaita Acharya appears, when Lord Chaitanya appears, he did not appear by just alone. He appeared with all his associates, just like Krishna. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam, that Krishna is going to appear, first his associate appears. No? It's like the president is going to travel, first his people, his bodyguard, they go, they check the place, then he goes. You know? So Advaita Acharya came to this world, and he saw the condition of humanity. Everybody was forgotten completely about Bhakti, how he was praying intensely, please, Lord Chaitanya, please calm down, because you are the only person who can save this world. Not only he, but also Haridas Thakur, both of them. Sometimes we say, Lord Advaita Acharya, but Haridas Thakur, they were praying for the coming down of the avatar of Lord Chaitanya. And because of his calling, Lord Chaitanya came to this world. So he's standing near him, Srivasa Chatradhara. Srinivas is holding an umbrella over the head of Lord Chaitanya. Srivasa Acharya is another of the Panchatattva. Panchatattva is the Advaita, Chaitanya, Nityananda, Gadadhar, Advaita, Panchatattva, Srivasa. Srivasa is Narada Muni, the great sage Narada Muni. So all these great personalities came for what? For us. They came just with the goal of spreading love for God through the chanting of the holy name for the sakes of the fallen soul. Boshi Yashe Gaura Shan Ratna Singhasane. Lord Chaitanya sits in a Singhasana. in a throne that is full of jewels, embedded with jewels. Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagan, and the Arti, who is doing the Arti? Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is doing, all the divines being were worshipping Lord Chaitanya. Lord Brahma is doing the Adi Deva Gana, he's also singing. Adi Deva, this original personality, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, is singing. So when we are chanting this Arati, we have to keep this in mind. If we know the translation, we can take that mood into our heart. Nara simply is Nara Hari Adi Kori Shamara Dhulahaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vashu Goshadiga Nahari Adi Narahari Adi Kori Shamara Dhulaya. What is doing Narahari? He is finding Lord Chaitanya with a chamara. With a chamara. Yes. Lord Chaitanya is like a duster, similar. No, the duster. Something to keep the bugs away. This is traditional in India. Of course, at that time they didn't have fans. They didn't have AC. Yeah? So usually when the guru sat down to speak, two disciples used to perform a very menial service. So the guru was talking transcendental philosophy for to enlighten the disciples, and one stood in one side with a chamara to keep the bugs away, mosquitoes, India is a tropical place, no? And the other was fanning him because it's hot, no? While the guru was talking, nowadays we don't have that. We have fans and everything, modernity. So, Sanjaya Mukunda Vashu Goshadi Gaya. Sanjaya was a great devotee, Mukunda and Vashu Ghosh were two great devotees. Adi Gaya, they are Adi, many others, they are singing. Just like when somebody's singing here, all of us would repeat after that person. This is an Arati, somebody's chanting, Gaya, and the rest of all the devotees are also chanting. Sankavaye Ganta, okay, Shanti please. Sankavaye Ganta Vaye Vaye Karatala Madhura Mridanga Vaye Paramarasa. So the conchs are sounding. Woo! Imagine this. Break kirtan, all the conchs are sounding. Ganta Vaye, Ganta, the bells, bing, 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 bing. Indians love playing bells when they come to the temple, bing, 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 bing. Sometimes you are lecturing and the whole family come, bing, okay, then the mother, bing, then the mother-in-law, bing, then the son, bing, then the grandson, bing, and please, bing, big family, India have big family, bing, everybody. So, Shankavaye, Gantavaye, the conchs sound, the bells are ringing, Vaye Karatala. Yeah, the Karatala, the cymbals are playing, Madhura Mridanga Vaye Paramarra Sala, and the sound of the Mridangas is Paramarra Sala, is the supreme rasa, the supreme sound, the supreme. So that means that when we play the Mridanga, we should try to play in a way that is attractive. Of course, I'm not a musician, we do whatever we can, but at least the intention should be there, because the Mridanga should sound very beautiful. No? And when we are playing the kartal, we should try not to make just an ordinary noise. This kirtan is a glorification for the pleasure of Krishna. It's not for our own pleasure. We should not be the enjoyers of kirtan, but the servants of kirtan. We serve the holy name. We do not enjoy the holy name. So sometimes people get the kartan and say, bang, bang. No, that's not kirtan. Banging two pieces of metal is not kirtan. The melody should flow very beautiful because it is for the pleasure of the Lord. Again, please, we are about to be done. Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vadana Ujjvala Jala Deshe Vanamala Kore Jalamala Bahu Koti Chandrajini, the face of Lord Chaitanya conquers. No? What is my Bengali friend? Jini, I think that it comes from the verb ji, to conquer. Bahu Koti Chandra, the face of Lord Chaitanya is like many moons, like thousands of moons. In this world, we see the moon as something that is very attractive to me. Poets use the moon, the beauty of the moon. When people are in love, they talk about the moon. Oh, they want to see the moon. So, Bahu Koti Chandra, his face is like thousands of moons. And this has a meaning also. because several meanings. Because Lord Chaitanya came in the dark age of Kali, and what happened at night when the moon comes, you can see everything. Isn't it? So Lord Chaitanya is like a moon. It illuminates the darkness of the age of Kali. Behind this song, there are also many meanings. Vadana Ujwala, his face is very bright, Ujwala, bright very much. Jala Deshe Vana Mala, Kore Jala Mala, just like around his neck there is a Vana Mala, there is a beautiful garland. It's like, well, cannot compete. Krishna's garland is called Vaidyayanti, victorious, no? It has many colors, many different kinds of flowers. Krishna likes to adorn himself with the forest flowers, cover boy. And the garland of Krishna is alive, pure consciousness. Everything in Krishna is conscious. The spiritual world is conscious. We are conscious because we are a fragment of the spiritual world, the Krishna Shakti. That's why we are conscious beings. So everything in the spiritual world is conscious because it's a manifestation of Swarupa Shakti, internal potency. So Krishna's garland is always chanting the holy name of Krishna, the glories of Krishna. My name is Ikshwaku. It's very pleasing that I put on a garland and say, oh, Ikshwaku. My false ego will be like a boom. Imagine that you put on a garland and the garland is chanting your glories. It's not recommended for us, isn't it? Because we will go like crazy. Oh yes, I'm the best. But Krishna's garland is always chanting his own glories. It's Vaidyayanti garland, always chanting his own glories. So Jala Deshe Vana Mala Kore Jala Mala. This garland is very bright. It's like last one, no? Shiva Shuka Narada Preme Gada Gada Bhakati Vinoda Shampahada Shiva Shuka and Narada. Shiva, Lord Shiva, Shukadev Goswami and Narada Muni Preme Gada Gada. They can hardly speak. They can hardly Gada Gada. Their voice hardly can come out of prema, in shout, out of prema. This is one of the symptoms of prema, of high level, very high levels of prema. Ashru, Kampa, Pulaka, Shweda, Vaivagya, Swarabhanga, Stamantala. Swarabhanga, the Swara, the vowel cannot come out. So like Lord Chaitanya, he said, Nayanang Galad Astrudharaya Badanang Gaggada Duddhaya Gira. Oh, when will my eyes, Nayanang Galad Astrudharaya will tear will come from my eye when? Like cascade. Dharaya holding so much water, when will I cry? When I chant your name like a rain. Gaggada Gira, when will my voice will shock up when I say your name? So this is Prema Gada Gada. Out of Prema, they can hardly sing. They are trying to sing, but so much Prema, so much love that the words do not come out of their mouths. Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaura Shampahada. This is the way that Bhakti Vinod Thakur sees the glories of Lord Chaitanya. This is how he sees. That's what Bhakti Vinod Thakur says. He says it's an eternal associate of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan, and standing in his balcony, he used to have this transcendental vision. Because of that transcendental vision, he used to write down this poetry that is coming from the core of his heart. That's why one of the practices of Bhakti is to memorize these songs, to sing them as much as we can. Because by doing so, you are getting in touch with the prema that comes out from the heart of this great personality. You are bathing yourself with the mood. We are bathing ourselves with the feelings. And if you bathe continually, certainly at certain moment, you will develop that feeling also. That is the Vaishnava mood. So if you have any comment or complaints, you can speak now or be quiet forever. Getting late. That's it? Okay, thank you very much. I will not torture you anymore. So,